Have you ever had one of those days where you're just having a real mare? And what do you say when your sat-nav is leading you a merry dance? Understanding these natural everyday idioms is the key to speaking real British English. In today's lesson, you're going to learn the kind of phrases you'd hear in everyday situations across the UK, which you definitely won't find in your textbook. First, you're going to listen to a conversation between a delivery driver and a customer. Then, I'm going to break down all the important vocabulary step by step. And finally, you'll get the chance to practice your speaking by taking part in that conversation yourself. Hi, I'm Steve. Let's do this. All right there, parcel for you.
Wonderful. Just in the nick of time. It's my husband's birthday present.
Lovely. Anything nice?
It's a tank wagon.
A what?
He's a model train enthusiast.
Oh, he plays with toy trains.
If he heard you calling them toy trains, he would have your guts for garters.
Sorry, model trains.
He's really pernickety about them.
No worries. Actually, perhaps you can help me. I'm a bit new on this round and I'm having a real mare.
Go on then, what's up?
I'm trying to find a house called The Willows on Elm Lane. My sat-nav is leading me a merry dance. It keeps telling me to turn down a dead end.
Say no more. It catches everyone out. That lane is a right pain. The numbering is all over the place. I'm not surprised you're struggling.
You're not kidding. It's just not my day today.
Why? What happened?
My van wouldn't start first thing, and I've been driving hell for leather all morning trying to catch up, and not being able to find that house, well, it's just the cherry on the cake.
I bet. Look, it's a doddle once you know how. Forget the sat-nav. Go to the end of this street and hang a left. It's just a stone's throw from the corner. It's the only house with a bright blue door. You can't miss it.
A blue door. Got it. Thanks a million. You've really helped me out.
You're welcome. But just to fill you in, the bloke who lives there is a miser, and he's been having a right to do with all his neighbours.
Oh really? What's it all about?
Well, last month he painted his fence a luminous yellow. Honestly, it's so naff, everyone was furious.
You're joking. Luminous yellow.
I swear, you can probably see it from outer space. But the reason I'm letting you know is so that if he's not in, whatever you do, don't leave his parcel with a neighbour.
Right. Thanks for giving me the inside track.
I'm sure you'll be fine. I just don't want you to be caught in the crossfire.
Understood. Well, thanks again for the directions. I've been going around in circles.
Don't mention it.
Bye.
Bye then.
Now we're going to have a detailed look at what was said with lots of examples so that when you hear these great expressions again, you'll understand them and also you'll be able to start using them yourself. Before we start, let me tell you that there's a full free interactive flipbook for this lesson which includes all the vocabulary, the full conversation and a quiz to test your understanding. If you're already a subscriber, it's in your inbox now. But if you're new here, just click the link in the description to get your free copy. Now back to the vocabulary that you heard. First, you heard the driver use the very common informal greeting, "All right there, parcel for you." This is a very relaxed way of saying hello. It's a bit like, how are you? But you don't need to give a long answer. A simple, yeah you, or not bad thanks is a perfect reply.
All right there.
Not too bad, thanks.
Kerry was happy the parcel had arrived in the nick of time.
Wonderful. Just in the nick of time.
This is a great idiom, and it means at the very last possible moment, just before it was too late.
I got to the station in the nick of time and just managed to catch my train.
You then heard a very British threat.
If he heard you calling them toy trains, he would have your guts for garters.
Now this is a funny way of saying you're extremely angry with someone. It's not a real threat, but it's used to show that you're annoyed.
If you eat them all, I'll have your guts for garters.
Then you heard Kerry describe her husband as,
He's really pernickety about them.
if someone is pernickety, it means that they're very fussy and pay too much attention to small, unimportant details. For example, I'm very pernickety about how my tea is made. Next, the driver said, and I'm having a real mare. He was having a real mare. This is a modern, informal British slang phrase. If you're having a mare, it means you're having a very bad or difficult time. It's short for nightmare. And one of the reasons he was having a mare, my sat-nav is leading me a merry dance, was leading him a merry dance. And this English expression means that someone or something is causing you a lot of trouble or wasting your time, often by making you go from place to place for no good reason.
I'd been on the phone to 3 departments. They're leading me a merry dance.
Kerry then told him,
That lane is a right pain.
this is used all the time to describe something or someone that is very annoying. The word right is used to make it even stronger, like when we use very or completely.
Trying to find a parking space is a right pain.
Next, she described the way that the houses were numbered.
The numbering is all over the place.
This is another common phrase to describe something that's disorganised, not in any order or untidy.
After the party, the house was all over the place.
You heard the driver say, and I've been driving hell for leather all morning trying to catch up. This is a great idiom that means to do something, especially driving, as fast as possible.
We were late, so we had to drive hell for leather to get there on time.
He then said not finding the house was the cherry on the cake. Now be careful with this one. It can be positive, meaning a final good thing that makes a great situation even better.
I got a new job, and the cherry on the cake is I'll be working with my best friend.
But here it's used sarcastically to mean a final bad thing that makes a bad situation even worse.
I missed the bus and then it started to rain. That was the cherry on the cake.
Kerry said,
Look, it's a doddle once you know how.
a doddle is a very informal British word for something that is very easy to do.
The exam was a doddle. I finished it in half the time.
Clicking the like button is a doddle. She then gave the driver directions saying,
Go to the end of this street and hang a left.
This is a very common way to say turn left. You might also hear hang a right for turn right. She then explained that the house wasn't far by saying,
It's just a stone's throw from the corner.
a stone's throw. This means something that's very close.
The beach is just a stone's throw from our hotel.
Kerry warned the driver that the man was a mither. This describes a person who worries constantly or makes a fuss about small things. It can be used as a noun, as it is here, to describe someone,
The bloke who lives there is a mither.
or as a verb.
Please don't mither. I'm sure your grandparents will be here soon.
Then you heard her say,
And he's been having a right to do with all his neighbours.
a to-do is an informal word for a fuss or an argument. It's a to-do. If you want to make it stronger, use right to intensify it. It's a right to do.
There was a right to do when the manager announced the changes.
The man had painted the fence luminous, which means bright and glowing, yellow, which she described as,
Honestly, it's so naff.
naff is a brilliant informal British slang word that means something is in bad taste, uncool or of poor quality.
Take that hat off. It looks naff.
Right, thanks for giving me the inside track. If you have the inside track, you have special information or an advantage that others don't have.
He works there, so he gave me the inside track and what they're looking for.
If you want the inside track on improving your English, click the subscribe button. Kerry didn't want him to get caught in the crossfire.
I just don't want you to be caught in the crossfire.
This means to be involved in a conflict or an argument between two other people, usually by accident.
When my parents argue, I try to stay out of the room so I don't get caught in the crossfire.
The driver complained, I've been going around in circles. This means you've been doing something for a long time without making any progress. For example,
I've been trying to solve this puzzle for hours. It feels like I'm going around in circles.
now it's your turn to really boost your English speaking skills by taking part in that conversation yourself. Your words will appear on the screen as you need them, and for the best results, speak out loud. All right there, parcel for you. Lovely. Anything nice? A what? Oh, he plays with toy trains. Sorry, model trains. No worries. Actually, perhaps you can help me. I'm a bit new on this round and I'm having a real mare. I'm trying to find a house called The Willows on Elm Lane. My sat-nav is leading me a merry dance. It keeps telling me to turn down a dead end. You're not kidding. It's just not my day today. My van wouldn't start first thing, and I've been driving hell for leather all morning trying to catch up, and not being able to find that house, well, it's just the cherry on the cake. A blue door. Got it. Thanks a million. You've really helped me out. Oh really? What's it all about? You're joking. Luminous yellow. Right. Thanks for giving me the inside track. Understood. Well, thanks again for the directions. I've been going around in circles. Bye. Speaking of things that are a doddle, this next video is a really easy way to continue your English learning right now, and it's just a stone's throw away. Give it a click and I'll see you there.